Like most people in their 20s, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. They say study hard, graduate, get a job, build your career, get married, have a family, and that's how you succeed. But I couldn't really see myself going through the same path, and I've always had this feeling of estrangement growing up. Not just in the place I lived in or in school, it's as if I never really fit in. It was lonely. But over these past few years, I realized I wasn't really out of place. I just didn't know who I was. So, let me tell you a story of how I found myself after losing everything at 20. Hi, my name is Yancy, and I'm from the Philippines. Hindi man ako magaling magsalita ng Tagalog, pero kaiba umanon ko magbisaya. And that says where I'm from, a diving town south of Cebu called Moalboal. Growing up in the Philippines, I was taught that dreams have to be practical and is limited to college diplomas, which ultimately determine success. Where my purpose was to satisfy societal pressures rather than nurturing my own uniqueness and standing up to what makes me different.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus.
My orders are sa police pati military na pagka ginulo, shoot them dead.
It's 2020 and the pandemic started. Online classes felt to compromise, so I decided to drop out with no plans, direction, or safety net. It just didn't feel right, especially because my mom was sick. I did random things such as establishing a clothing brand, learning photography, graphic design, marketing, and even painting murals. But I also spiraled into drinking, partying, and escaping my reality. I didn't want to accept the possibility of losing my mom. At that point, I had no idea what my future would look like. Time flew quickly, and I started working at a cafe late 2021. I was so happy I finally had my first stable job. However, my mom's condition also got way worse. She had cancer. And shortly after, she passed away. My entire world fell apart. I couldn't even tell anybody about it. Soon after the funeral, my dad left. Without a word, explanation, nothing. But I also couldn't really care anymore. I shot myself in my room, shedding tears, surrounded by guilt, and accumulating regrets, thinking I haven't even told my mom how much I loved her. She meant so much to me, and yet I was scared to express it. We live our lives with so much words to say, but so little spoken. With desperate, dry, shriveled hearts that yearns for one thing, to be poured with generous water upon. Months passed, and I started getting used to living by myself, with a deep hole in my heart pierced by guilt and ripped out by grief, bleeding into confusion and doubt if I'll ever be able to make it out and live again. Walking with an empty smile, hanging on one day at a time. December 16th, 2021.
Dozens of people have been killed in the Philippines in floods caused by a typhoon which hit the country on Friday.
Typhoon Rai left a trail of devastation, with winds reaching 195 kilometers per hour before making landfall.
My town was devastated by a super typhoon. At that point, I didn't even know what to do. My chest felt so tight I could barely breathe. The pressure of having to act and decide what to do next was gripping on my neck. The house was damaged. I was homeless. My feet were cold, my stomach was churning. It was such an uneasy feeling. It felt so lonely, more than ever before. All I knew was that I had no parents left. I'm surely gonna lose my job. I had no savings, nothing. At 20, everything felt so heavy and hopeless. It's unbelievable how sudden things can change, how we can lose everything in an instant, how we get to a point where all that's left to do is breathe and keep going regardless of how we do it. In that moment, it was all that mattered, surviving. I held my tears back like I always do. Despite my situation, I was lucky enough to be blessed by warm, good people who cared for me. No words can express how grateful I am to these people. They helped me believe in myself and surprised me for my birthday when it felt like it didn't matter. I turned 21 with a tragic fresh start. But I also started to see struggles and challenges as opportunities for me to grow, to keep looking up, turning a disaster into a catalyst for rebirth. My friends and I raised funds for my hometown and organized relief distribution programs to help victims get back on their feet. Then my life felt meaningful. I found a direction through actions with purpose, to be anything but kind. I also realized that I'd rather be a failure than not try at all. Someone who remains positive in adversities and shines light onto others. I may not be the most capable social person, but I'm proud and comfortable of who I am now, while embracing uncertainty as a form of adventure. Through this, I found my people, my best friend, and the community I belong to. I have become someone who consistently challenges himself to push past his comfort zone while being grateful for every experience, documenting every moment.
I'm from the Philippines, he's from Norway. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Have a great day.
To remember and relive memories, people, and places that are lost. One thing that I'll always regret not having done sooner. In this life, it's normal to have new versions of ourselves in different seasons, because the only thing constant is change. As cliche as that sounds, but it's true. We can also still dream as big as our imaginations allow. Be ambitious regardless of where we're from, despite this economy. Freedom lies in discomfort, and happiness is a choice, they say. And courage is not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of its presence. I'm just so lucky to be here and being able to experience all this. My life from the past few years may have been a series of unfortunate events, Perhaps it's a much-needed character development is what I try to convince myself so I don't feel so bad. I have learned a lot and made memories I will forever cherish. Indeed, life is a journey navigating through ups and downs, successes and failures, composed of moments of joys and sorrows. All of these experiences compounded made me who I am today. And for that, I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Bart. Thank you so much.
This may sound like the end, but it's actually just the beginning.
Unpack your bags and never leave.